Welcome to This Week in Crowder College, an in-depth look into how Crowder College students, faculty, and staff are working together so students soar to new heights, communities are impacted, and lives are changed. This Week in Crowder College is sponsored by the law offices of Wood and Peterson in Neosho, specializing in workers' compensation, personal injury, Social Security disability, and more. Learn more online at neoshoattorney.com. Now here's this week's edition of This Week in Crowder College.
Hey there, Four States. This is Luke Taylor, and welcome to another edition of This Week in Crowder College. And today we have on the program with us Shawna Estep, and she is the division chair for the ag department out there at Crowder. That's a new role for her, but she's also a longtime program director for the Vet Tech program. And so a lot of students, if they're in vet tech or the agricultural side going to Crowder, they're going to probably run into Shawna at some point. And we're looking forward to hearing a little bit about the rodeo they had this year. So, hey, Shawna, thanks so much for being with us.
Absolutely. Happy to join you today.
Yeah, well,
we're just now recovering from the rodeo, actually. It took a couple weeks to recover.
Oh, yeah, a big event like that. Definitely. And then you had the start of the semester right behind that, too. So
we did.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start with the rodeo, though. Tell us about how all that came together.
Well, in my new role, I kind of inherited the rodeo, and that is not my talent or my background. I grew up on a farm, but a dairy farm, and not in the rodeo world. So, thankfully, this was the 13th rodeo. So 12 years before, we had an employee in our department who had a lot of experience, and she laid all of that groundwork for me so I could just pick it up and run with it. But it has taken months to plan this one weekend event between organizing the vendors that come, the sponsorship, the contestants as they arrive, putting together. We had some great people to help coordinate it. We had TK Rodeo Production, which he brings some really good quality bucking stock. If you were there, you kind of noticed that the horses were absolutely flying out of the chutes. He has some really quality stock. So he kind of increased the quality of our rodeo. We had one of the top announcers in the nation, Brandon Wren, as our announcer, and then one of our local heroes, Gizmo the Clown. He's a local legend, and he was the funny act for it. Okay. So they put on the show, and then we just kind of support it in the background.
Yeah. Well, as far as I know, it's a long-running, it's 16 or 17 years, I think. I saw that they've been doing this rodeo.
13. I inherited on the 13th year. I didn't know if that was an omen or not, but we proved that 13 didn't have any unluckiness to it at all. It was a great year. We had blockbuster attendance. Our attendance was up greatly both nights. The advance ticket sales were up, so our concession stand was up. So what all of that means, though, is we did raise some awesome scholarship money that weekend, and we have already awarded 65 of our ag and vet tech students that worked that weekend at the event. We have already awarded them scholarships that have already been applied this week, actually, to their student accounts. So immediate impact that the students have received.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear. And I was considering coming out, and then I realized we had a big fundraiser for us here at the station, a golf tournament that we do each year. It was that same weekend, so I didn't make it out there for the rodeo, but I saw a lot of buzz online. There was a lot of people chatting about going to the rodeo, so I could tell this was something that there's a lot of people in the area who are interested in this.
Yeah, it really grew this year for whatever reason. I think our social media was a little bit more active, and that attracted a little bit of more attention. It was an awesome weekend. I was glad it was over, but it was an awesome weekend. Yeah.
Well, it definitely sounds like it. And so I know there's going to be more of those in the future. But before we go today, so you're new to the division chair as far as for the agriculture department. You're the division chair. Jorge Zapata was fulfilling that role before. And so can you tell us just a little bit about how has that impacted you? Because you're still doing your old duties also as the program director for Vet Tech. So how do you balance all these things?
Yeah, so, I'm still learning how that's impacting me. I'm getting new tasks all the time that I really wasn't aware that he was accomplishing. So those are big boots to fill. We are, making a lot of changes. We actually hired, with Jorge's retirement, we hired a new animal science instructor. And we got an amazing hire with 18 years of high school experience teaching high school FFA. We had another new addition into the Vet Tech program, and another administrative assistant. So in our small department, we had 3 brand new employees. So we're basically half of us are all new, and some of them half new to teaching. So it is really a season of a lot of change. I think you'll be seeing a lot visibly differences, and hopefully that'll kind of show up. Like our focus, I think, is a lot more recruiting, going out and actively finding those high school students that really need to be coming to Crowder to take advantage of things like A+, and to just join our ag department. So you'll see us out recruiting really hard this next year or so.
Well, and let's speak to that for just a second, too. You mentioned you grew up on a dairy farm. A lot of people around here, I grew up on a farm. A lot of people around here grew up on farms. But what,
for sure.
They might think, well, I've been living here all my life, so I've already been, doing a lot of these things. Why would I need to go to get a college education in that area? What would you say that Crowder can offer to them?
All kinds of opportunities. So even if you have grown up on a farm, and maybe you were involved in your high school FFA chapter, we have opportunities to just take it to the next level. We have PAS, post-secondary agriculture students, that kids can compete and increase their leadership skills. We travel. Our department, our ag department, is well known for our travel seminars. We take kids from Newton-McDonald County, and we take them to places like Costa Rica. Someplace that they never have the opportunity to travel to in their life. And you think, what do I have in common? If I'm a little livestock producer in this area, what do I have in common with a water buffalo producer in Costa Rica? Until you start listening to him, and he talks about calving weights. He talks about, feed resources. You talk about parasite loads. You talk about, bull selection. And it's the exact same thing that your producer on their 40-acre farm here in Newton County are still talking about those same things. So it's a big world, but it's actually kind of a very small world.
Everything you're saying right there, that's what I was always impressed by with Jorge talking about just how much you can take from that other part of the world and bring it to make Southwest Missouri farms even better. And for all those kids out there who, maybe they grew up on the farm and they already kind of know what they're doing. But if you did take a few years, get an education at Crowder, it's very affordable. You'll learn a lot of new skills, and the farm's still going to be there whenever you get done. So you can go right back into it.
True, you can come back and improve it.
Yeah. And so a lot of value there in the ag department. And again, we've been speaking today with Shawna Estep. She's the division chair for the ag department, and as well as plenty of other stuff she's doing there for the school. So we're going to let her get back to it. But hey, Shawna, thanks so much for joining us here on This Week in Crowder College.
We're excited to start planning the next rodeo, but we'll take a little break first.
Thank you for listening to This Week in Crowder College. This Week in Crowder College is sponsored by the law offices of Wood and Peterson in Neosho. You can listen to this broadcast again by going online to kneo.org or to crowder.edu. Tune in once again next week for another edition of This Week in Crowder College on KNEO 91.7 FM.